What is the Roman Catholic understanding of moral law?
It's natural law, God's instructions. It's an expression of God's law, moral law.
It doesn't take a gift from heaven to understand moral law. From the time we're toddlers and begin to develop an understanding for the wrong and right, we nurture an instinct as human beings to be swayed into doing one or the other, but not fully aware of the consequences and the severity.
And it says that among all of the animals, only man was worthy to receive a law from God to govern his conduct. And this was right to Tertullian, who was a philosopher many years ago.
How is the Church's view of moral law both similar to and different from Kohlberg's theory of moral development?
Kohlberg's moral law is used by the Catholic Church in setting up their catechesis for how to form people in their faith.
Our country is in a moral crisis. The rate of teen pregnancy, juvenile crime, and suicide are all increasing. Moral development has become increasingly more important in education. There is plenty of research for educators wishing to bring light to moral development within the classroom. Lawrence Kohlberg developed a moral theory of development in 1969. This theory used Piaget's earlier work and built on it. His work is outlined below.
Kohlberg stages of moral development. Level 1, pre-conventional morality. Stage 1, obedience and punishment. Stage 2, individualism and exchange.
Level 2, conventional morality. Stage 3, interpersonal relationships. Stage 4, maintaining social order.
Level 3, post-conventional morality. Stage 5, social contract and individual rights. Stage 6, universal principles.
The Heinz dilemma deals with two scenarios. One dealing with a woman with a unique cancer which requires a dosage that costs $4,000. The husband borrowed from friends and family and still came short of $4,000. He asked the doctor for a payment plan, but the doctor refused. Would it be considered moral for Heinz to break in the laboratory and steal the drugs for his dying wife? Scenario number 2. Heinz decided to break in all while his friend, who's a cop, witnessed him suspicious around the laboratory and later saw him running away. Should his friend report what he saw?
To have a better understanding, here's Dr. Lyons on Kohlberg's moral development from infants to adulthood.
They have the pre-conventional. You don't teach them reconciliation or confession until they're 7. Okay, and in Kohlberg's pre-conventional, that's what he says. Too early, it's all about me. Then they go into the conventional, where you learn right from wrong, and that's when you start forming your morality. They don't talk about Kohlberg, but what they do say is that moral law comes out of Jesus' existence. He is the basis and the foundation. And so we look to what Jesus did. What would Jesus do rather than what would Kohlberg do? That would be the difference. We don't train people about Kohlberg, but the church has used Kohlberg's theory. So that would be the difference.
What is the difference between moral law and moral decision?
Moral law and moral decisions. It does depend on what stage you are in your development of moral law.
There's no set formula or rules to accomplish making a moral decision. Good moral decision making involves A, knowing the facts of the situation, and B, careful consideration of the moral values that are relevant to a given situation. More importantly, moral decision making involves sensitivity to the moral dimensions of everyday situations and an awareness of the range of interest involved in specific decisions. Here are questions that should be asked when making a moral decision. If I carry out this decision, would I be comfortable with telling my family about it, my friends, my mentors? Would I want my children to take my behavior as an example? Is this behavior one which a wise, informed person would make? Can I live with this decision and its outcome?
In the conventional, you are worried and concerned about the good of everybody. But the post-conventional, you go beyond that. And you would be more concerned about what is happening to the other person. And you make your judgments above even what the authorities say.
In essence, these are the building blocks of moral law, which today we discussed in detail and hopefully helped you to understand the Catholic views of moral law.